Getting ready for our first game of the day. It is the jungle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. The plane is en route. Dave, I'm going to throw it to you.
Just 7 the last 2 days?
Yes, we have, and this is why I was kind of a bit surprised that, yeah, we're going to be getting this one right here with IG and S2S. I'm intrigued to see who's going to be winning this one, as IG is going to be able to strike first with those shotguns coming around. The flashbangs, not only flashing the player, but also flashing me. Darklight trying to make sure he's fence off some of these players here from IG. As long as they don't line up for him, he should be able to take care of this. But Gloss is able to come around and just ends up surprising 2 players from IG. IG now trying to fight back. These players, I mean, these teams are just going to be hindering each other for their performance. But IG is going to end up coming out on top. And something that I wanted to mention that we have seen in the first 2 days of Sandhawk has been a hot drop that has been happening at boot camp, and it happened none other between Influence, Rage, and Esports. Esports now not going to be doing the hot drop, but with that second location that they're going to be dropping at, guess who they're going to be running into? None other than Alpha 7 Powerbang.
Oh, this is a tough one, man. Alpha 7's not a squad that you want to tussle with early on in the match because they're just so dang good. But as the plane was going in, I noticed that Alpha 7 actually changed up their drop location a little bit. I wonder if it was based off scouting efforts from our first couple of days of action. Yesterday, they were dropping and taking up the entire part of the southwest of the map, or southeast rather. And today, they're immediately snapping to this compound and taking out X-Force, who I'm sure they look at as an inferior team, putting 4 points in their tally already.
It seems like the players are able to rely a little bit more on him. And this is one of the things that some of the other teams didn't want to have to deal with. That rotation. If you wait too long, you're just going to end up getting picked apart. But to be completely honest, I'm hoping that Coop survives here, because if there's ever a player that you want to be alive in your team, it's going to be Coops.
Looking for some type of smokes, looking for some type of support. You know they want to pick up Law here, but it looks like United or Gaming, they're down to their last remaining member.
That was a really nice off angle from Joapco here.
He's gone.
Unfortunately, gets shot in the ear on the way out. But, you know, he did a decent job keeping his team in the fight there. But Influence Rage not having any of it. That's going to secure a few more elimination points for them. You'll love to see it. They have moved into third.
Likely going to be making the live of Alpha 7 and some of the other teams a little bit harder. You were wondering what VIP was going to be doing. VIP decided to go a little bit higher and go for an actual just full crash on 9C, and is currently backfiring, Dave.
Absolutely wild, man. I mean, I saw them going up towards the north, and it looks like they doubled back around. Poppy Sour behind the boulder with the M4, going for that spray down. Can we connect on the remix as well and make this worth? Because right now he's the last one alive. The blue zone going to be chunking him down. There goes his teammate bleeding on out right there. So Poppy Sour, last one for their squad. But like you said, TB, here comes Alpha 7.
Tough one from Squash out on the rear, guarding that flank, but he's going to get picked up here. The only thing they got to worry about right now is Poppy Sour coming over that ridge. I think they know someone is there, but Alpha 7 regroups, and once they take care of Poppy Sour, or Poppy Sour goes after the blue, they will control alone the southern part of this zone. Now, you guys asked what VIP was going to do. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking they're going to go beat some points for somebody. But that's not what I was rooting for. But that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. But here we are at the ruins. Coops finally goes out, but not before securing a couple points there for the Wolves. Here we go, though. It's kicking off at the ruins. These are always some of my favorite fights right now. We've got Influence, Rage, Royals of War going head-to-head right now. Law trying to pick up little boy here to get back into this fight, 7.
We knew it was going to be bound to happen. Some teams were going to have to crash here in ruins just to at least secure some placement, secure some terrain, as Law now being one of the players, one of the only 2 players that's alive. Diego more than likely is going to end up getting picked up. Law now trying to heal up, and Royals of War trying to do a bit of a reset here, trying to see if they can make it a 2 versus 3, but right now it is going to be a 1 versus 3. Aragod waiting a little bit too long there. He's going to be able to get off the revive, and he's going to be holding those angles, trying to see if he can heal off. And right now, Royals of War is just gonna be on the aggression. There you go, Tonka getting the shotgun out, being able to connect with one shot. Aragod trying to see if he can connect with Little Boy, but Little Boy just holding that angle for him, and it's gonna be too much for Royals of War as Influence Rage sends them back to the lobby, and it's gonna be even harder to get out of ruins now, especially with the circle that we're working with.
Yeah.
Points for this game, intense game, laying down the law from the top, and just as expected, Influence Rage unable to make it out of Ruins. They will go out. It was a beautiful fight, though. Man, it was a close one. Every millimeter counted in that one. Every millisecond counted in that one. The retreat was just at the right moment. He held on to the revive, which I thought he might let it go to try to defend. Really impressive fight, though, at the Ruins there for Influence Rage, but they will go out here, but not before securing some points. So you love to see it. They're going to move up a bit. A little padding there between them and fourth place right now. But we look at the circle here as it collapses. Ooh. And look at that. Only one compound left in this one. And it's intense game going out in sixth place here, Dave.
Yeah, a couple elimination points, though, so they're going to be pretty happy, 6 to be exact. So looking over here at Loops, they're going to be making the push, but Team Liquid right behind them, looking to get that sandwich action, looking to get up close and personal within grenade range. Looks like Loops already prepared. They heard and saw the vehicle, so now they're looking for the initial knock, and we're gonna have a all-out utility war right now in the northern half of well, this isn't in the zone anymore. So nice knock onto Ayala, but it looks like they had a nice little trade, little Molotov spread over here. Gonna be forcing Loops to pump their brakes, not making the initial pull up after that knock. But Team Liquid, they're just getting beat apart.
They are. Not only are they having to worry about Loops here, they also have to worry about Inko, because Inko now, remember, they were sitting in that compound in the center of the circle for so long. That's no longer going to be within the circle. They're going to be ready for a third party if possible, because it's just going to give them full control. VT's going to be able to find Mythic right there from Team Liquid, and it's none other than Cardoso now being the last player alive for Team Liquid. And as I was mentioning, as I was setting it up, Inko is just waiting for him to make it towards them. And then on top of that, that allowed the opening for Alpha 7. Alpha 7 taking full advantage here of Inko getting just slightly distracted, trying to third-party fight that is going to allow them to push up. And if Alpha 7 wins this, oh man, it's going to be scary for all the other teams left alive, for Savage and for Loops.
Savage Esports right now is the final boss. They're content to chill in the cabins, awaiting who wins the outside right now, and it looks to be Alpha 7 with all of the momentum. They push up the hillside, taking down a couple of Inko players. 2 on 4 is the current situation. Bruno's in on the ridge here. He is trying to hold Alpha 7 off, being incredibly patient. He's got to be beaten 100 times a minute right now. His heart rate, man, absolutely crazy, but he hasn't given himself away just yet. Incredible patience here, Dave, from Brunozen.
Yeah, it looks like they might have heard something. They're trying to mow down the grass, but homie is right here. I mean, he can smell them. You see Squash trying to get that jump going, trying to spot out the snake over here. Now here comes the blue zone. Here comes the spring of the trap, and there goes 2, but Revo from downtown taking him out.
That's right, Alpha 7 being surprised there by Bruno. Let's see if they're going to be able to maybe get somewhat of a reset here. It's going to be a bit of a stretch, or maybe they're just going to be rotating in regards to just switching each other heals and whatnot. Savage has been sitting pretty for the longest time, and they're giving way too much time to Alpha 7 here to recover. This is not what you want to be able to do. This is not how you want to be able to handle this, and it's going to end up being a 4 versus 2 situation. Don't love it, Dave. You want to see a little bit more action out of a team, especially with all the fighting that was going on. They waited way too long, and it looks like they're just going to be denying the point. They're giving the win to Alpha 7.
Yeah.
They said you already have 30 points. You don't need any more points than that.
Long team name. Listen, guys, honestly, right there, Savage, they were in a good spot, but I saw one member, and we might see it in the highlights. I think one member from Loops.
To later circles, to just worrying about how are we going to win this match, and I'm hoping that's the walls we're going to be seeing here in this 3 Aaron girls that we're going to be looking at today. That we're currently working with. The playing pad, you guys mentioned it, very southern, allowing some of the teams to kind of fight a little bit closer and a little bit faster to IG. Now looking to fight into Inko Gaming. Inko Gaming already has 3 players knocked. It's going to be none other than McGrellin. We know that he has experience. He's going to be able to get one. Can he get another one? He's going to start pushing up. He's able to get the second one, and he turns around and gets the third one, making it an easy 1 versus 3. McGrellin now having to fend off, shoot to survive. There's just too many people, but McGrellin almost clutching up all those eliminations, and from all that hard work, he's only gonna end up with just 1, as shoot to survive is gonna come in and steal some eliminations. doing some salsa moves here throughout this whole match, psyching out all the players around as Royals of War is going to get into a fight here versus Shoot to Survive. Shoot to Survive, a team that definitely needs those points. Remember, you were talking about them wanting to take advantage of Erangel. Let's see if they're going to be able to, but they're going to have to fend off Eric God and David from row 19. It's easier said than done. I know they have the numbers advantage, but trust me, it is still hard, especially with this type of plays that you're going to be working with. And there you go. Aragon shows exactly why, and I'm talking about that, why it is that hard to be able to do that. And they're going on the offense. They don't want to slow down. They want to make sure they take full advantage of that knock. Is it going to end up working now for Royals of War, or is it going to end up backfiring as David's not going to be able to connect with those shots right there, and it's going to just come down to Aragon being the last one alive. And not only that, they have Vials Gaming trying to third-party this fight, Dave.
Oh my goodness, the third party coming in clutch. I hear the bombs out here as well. Urgod back against the wall. Oh, one of the C4s actually took out a member. Urgod, though, the bounce off the wall, perfectly cooked to perfection.
It has allowed some of the other teams being able to move up, so they need to be careful. Loops Esports is looking to third-party this fight. Loops Esports is looking for an opening, and if they're able to engage with this, not only are they going to be able to get just the Northwest, as Bios Gaming is defending there massively against Influence Rage, and that is it. Influence Rage gets eliminated 11th place, and it comes to that third party. Can Loops Esports capitalize on this, or are they going to be a little bit too patient? Are they going to be playing this a little bit too slow?
A full-strength squad who had already relocated, and they're out of the lobby just like that. So they went from a position of, you know, hey, this looks like a good push to, oh man, what the heck happened? And now Loops is about to ask the same thing because they are currently on fire, 7.
Yeah, Reflections had this team, Vios Gaming, in just such a high regard, especially because of the explosiveness of all the action that we got out of chance to see out of this team. But you know what? It's only Loops. Loops no longer is the one third party in. It's actually going to be Wolf trying to go for this third party as Vitin is going to be hiding behind that tree. He's going to be able to connect with one. There goes one knock. Coops is going to get spotted. Vitin, somebody stop this man. He's just making sure he gets every single one. Can he actually cure it? He's not going to be able to, but his team should be able to, and they're not going to be able to, as Vios Gaming making that push. Vios Gaming, I feel like, might be one of the biggest pests of the North. Everybody tried to fight them, and everybody ended up paying for it.
Yo, did you guys see that one member from AGG just trying to roll up and get some runovers? There was an AGG squad mate like, hey, there's a fight. Let me pull up and see what were his teammates saying in that situation. Holy cow, we might see that in the replay.
Fiesta.
Yeah, Fiesta. Hey, there's some points over here. Maybe might as well go out. But yeah, the Wolves kind of getting picked apart right there. But these fights are not over yet. I mean, this is just a hotbed for action right now. Everybody wants a piece of Vios Gaming, currently with 10 eliminations. Looks like two of their squad mates.
Are they going to survive this too?
Nunez trying to connect. There's one.
Oh my.
Got the confirmation. Oh, was that the vehicle explosion?
Yes.
It was. The vehicle explodes. Vios Gaming goes out. I thought they were going to clutch a 4th or 5th fight in a row. It was not meant to be, though. But my goodness, what a game from Vios Gaming as they put up 12 eliminations. Are you 9Z are not going to try to let it happen, 7.
Yeah, and for this team, one thing you don't want to end up doing with Alpha 7 is you just don't want to allow them to get super close to you. This is a team that currently has the most grenade eliminations, up to 13. And if they're able to get close enough, they will be making you pay. Luckily for 9C, I mean, Alpha 7 currently only has 3 players, as Carrilho did end up getting eliminated earlier on. There you go, REVO not only being the scout, being the one that's going to be head fronting this fight. Can he spot one? He's going to have to lay down. The grenade's going to be coming in. Grenade's going to be affecting him, but he's also trying to make sure he fights back with it. Is it going to connect here? There you go. 9C realizing that those grenades are a little bit too close for our liking, and they're starting to do damage. Let's back up a little bit. Let's see if we can set up the zone here, because they are going to at least have one player within the zone. Alpha 7. Just really. How many grenades do they have, baby?
It's crazy. They got endless grenades right now. They haven't been in many fights so far as they've been securing position. Finally, REVO goes down, and it's going to be up to the rest of the team to try to pick him up. It's down to Mafioso and Squash, and it is thin pickings right now. Just a few HP left for Alpha 7. This might be the end of their road as 9Z on the push. They get the run over, and just like that, we're into the top 4. Alpha 7 goes out in 5th place, but honestly, they shouldn't have ever been here. A really masterful job of them navigating those zones, even to put themselves in this position.
And the grenades were thrown between those two teams, and they're hoping that if there is a push from 9C, which would be absolutely crazy, they're gonna be ready for it. But 9C deciding to not go for that push towards Team Liquid, and instead having to do that long rotation towards the north. They're gonna end up going up against a player there, Joaco there from Unite for Gaming. Easy pick, especially when you have the numbers advantage, but you need to make sure that you don't end up overextending, and that's exactly what Remix does. And IG ends up making them pay for it, and just like that, Team Liquid realizes that 9C ended up making the push towards the north, and they switched their focus once again to the other side. Team Liquid just playing this amazingly.
It's good for IG top 3 situation. Much needed points. I'll take that small victory. But yeah, going back to your point, Team Liquid, another knock right there. After that knock, they'll be looking to close the gap. They're going to be using this terrain to their advantage. We can see Cardozen right there on the edge of the play zone with his teammates on the high ground from behind, really providing that support. Looks like they're going to send Mythic up here as well in the US. They're looking to close this one out here, fellas.
Milo's holding on to the grenade a little bit too long, and it seems like this team is just wanting to do the same thing that the previous teams have done. They want to make sure they stop any of these teams collecting points, blowing themselves up, dying to the play zone, whatever the case might be.
You know, 2 of us, I got to go for something else here. I'm going to go for loops. Let's go loops. 0 points, or not many points that last game, but they've been doing pretty well, in my opinion, tonight on the up. So loops Esports, my pick. What about you, PB?
In Severny, and they're just now making their way north. So incredible stuff from them. The interesting thing about that fight is the second that they engaged, they left. Nice shots here from Reyes. 9Z starting to build some momentum, and Alim's just going to go feed him some. I don't know what's going on right now, boys. This didn't seem to be incredibly strategic from my point of view.
It's a center. Stop worrying about little fights here and there. Unless you have to fight it, stop doing it.
Yeah, if AGG
we got some NA on NA violence here.
Yeah, I'll never question them again, though.
It's wolves and shoot to survive, Dave. And they are shooting to survive.
Little seat swap action right there. Dark Light from the back seat. Going to be picking up 1 NA on NA violence, like you said, up here in the north. Here comes AGG looking at meds. Okay, oh, hello. There we go. Yep, rolling up. Guy behind a boulder takes him out. And you know why? Because Worlds of War, they are set up to defend. They are ready. They hear the vehicles. They see them from afar, from the blue, already soaking up the damage. So AGG, they're already going to be low when it comes to health. So it's not going to take many bullets to take them out. And just got to be quicker on the jump. That's it.
Look at this. They're going to be forced to fight now. Savage, easy pickings for this team. Ends up getting eliminated. Yeah, congratulations, AGG. You're able to get 1 elimination.
All that
not
work.
really able to do much after.
Let's see, because that cover is going to be crucial, especially with all these teams kind of surrounding them from all angles. So shoot to survive. Oh, whoa. From behind, Inco Gaming pulling up, taking them down and out. There goes another confirmation. Dark Light eliminated right there. Looks like McGrellin. Teamwork.
You gotta pick them up, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the zone's not too far from them, so you could pick them up, run to the zone, but nah, McGrellin's got this. He's sticking with the Revive vehicles, doing some posturing themselves. Gonna be pushed off here. VIP still surviving and thriving here, fellas, but look at this. Loops with the pull-up.
Loops is going to be going up against United for Gaming. I mean, Nene Bete trying to figure out something here as Rafinha is going to end up getting knocked. United for Gaming, a team that needs points if they want to be able to rack up even more points for the grand finals. Just advantage. This is what you want. This is what you want to be able to do, but it's currently not working out as Loops now with just 2 players alive. One of them knocked. He's going to be able to connect. He's not going to be able to. Hate is going to be connecting instead, and he's going to come down to Nene Bete. Can Nene Bete actually connect? And you know what? With all that, the third parties continue, baby, as none other than Savage is going to be pulling up to this, and he's going to be allowing Nenebete to just get into the action as well. Meanwhile, Nenebete being cool, calm, and collected here, throwing up those smokes, throwing up all that stuff. And the third party from Savage, now they're going to have to worry about IG as he just keeps scaring down team after team. I'm getting reminded of what happened in that last match, PB, with Vials.
It's getting chaotic, and Loops is just chilling in the same compound. They're in a different structure right now. Big chillin', waiting to see what happens here. We'll see if the third party comes in, but Silence taking down Monty there from Savage Esports, and just like that, intense game with a full squad able to move in and get to safety, but it is not safe for long. Both of these teams need to move. The zone has shifted north. It is centering up right on top of shooting range, but it's very likely that these teams will have to fight before they leave. Silence, though, heads ahead and sees if he can scout out a safe place for their squad to land. Nenebete, though, letting them know, hey, we're here. It's about to go down, and the nades about to come in, Dave.
Yeah, I love the spray down with the AKM. Nenebete had, moments ago, was able to pick up that red dot right there at the end, but shots from downtown, from behind, will be taking them down and out. Loops, I was looking for that winner chicken dinner. They will cover, but hopefully that cover doesn't take them out here.
I think it was an entrance strategy. They intended to go in there and chill. They did want to entomb themselves, and that is the move. So I think they're executing wonderfully on their strategy.
Let's see how far they make it.
Yeah, the only problem is that with that team
still over here. I mean, we got a lot of teams still over here too. When this fight is done, I guarantee you one of these teams who wins this, they're probably going to wrap around the north, and that's going to be the deciding factor if VIP survive or not.
Yeah, I just hope with VIP, I mean, that was the major concern, right, PB, earlier when you asked me, could this be their game? It's just that sometimes they're a little bit too passive when they maybe need to be aggressive, when they maybe need to be able to find angles in here, in that positioning, have somebody out, have somebody scouting, see what can happen, as Alpha 7 Squash is going to end up getting knocked by Team Liquid. This is a team that we have seen them fight over and over again. How is Alpha 7 going to be able to start making that push up? How much utility is left as well? And can Carrillo ultimately end up finding that little snake angle on those last two players from TL? VIP still chilling. I'm okay with it, but they need to start focusing on what's going to be happening here between some of these fights. There you go. Carrillo finally ends up moving up, and he's able to clear those two players from Team Liquid. Alpha 7 gonna have a lot of room to work with, and on top of that, VIP, what are you gonna be doing here? Are you gonna continue to be passive, or are you gonna start being a little bit more aggressive and take the fight towards Inco Gaming?
Waiting for them to kind of pile out of their cave and maybe have a grenade or a Molotov and really capitalize on that here. So 24K.
That's why you don't want to be in shooting range.
24K has a huge come-up opportunity. But yeah, 9Z, another solid game though, fellas, where they're showing up in the late game.
Yeah, with 9C, I mean, this is the thing that we've been seeing out of this team, right? They're able to show up, starting to be a little bit more proactive. There you go, VIP. This is what I want to see out of you.
I love that the circle is forcing our players inside of shooting range. It's almost like a mini game within the game, or like a little TDM match, right? You got the cover. We're going to see a lot of lean peaks, and it's really going to come down to just the map knowledge and where players might be hiding behind these corners. And we're going to see Alpha 7 toss out some grenades, but the blue zone doing some damage and a couple knocks on their side in the corner over there. REVO very low, was able to find and connect onto McGrellin. A huge knock right there. It's going to allow Alpha 7 to hopefully get another pickup. But I do see Reyes looking to reposition, possibly within grenade range. Looks like they did get him up, though. Fortunate for him. Still 5 teams remain. VIP.
You were talking earlier about that player that was on top of the mountain, PB. 19 is just making this difficult for not only Alpha 7, but for Inco as well, as Inco gets eliminated.
Is VIP gonna big chill their way to victory right here? I mean, they're just now starting to engage for the first time. They missed Colgo here. If that had landed from Hayuya, that would have been trouble for 9Z. Right now, Alpha 7 is clearly a threat on the inside of shooting range, but you've got VIP on the outside looking to make things a bit mixy here. But Poppy Sour goes down. REVO getting the gun busy. And VIP going to try to get him back in. It looks like they will be able to revive here unless any nades come flying in. But 7, do you think VIP's got what it takes to clutch?
I think for VIP, if there was ever a time for them to be a little bit patient, is when you do have a lot of ground to work with. But right now that you're starting to see this fight, there you go, Freddy. Take that fight to them. Make sure you third party this, and this is perfect. This is what VIP needs to do now. From all that passiveness that we saw earlier, they need to start engaging. They need to move up, and they're playing this wonderful. You can see them now getting off the ground. No longer proning, trying to see if they can capitalize. Not only just in eliminations. For 9C, it's only going to be Colgo left alive. 9C, though, great match for this team as well. Up to 9 eliminations. Colgo trying to see if he can maybe end up getting more. REVO ends up getting eliminated, fully flushed out by Colgo as he was healing. But Freddy, I mean, trying to get the angle, distracting the other player as well. That is going to be it for Colgo. Colgo somehow staying alive, and Squad now starting to make a comeback here. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's 2 singles versus 3 players of VIP. Can VIP actually clutch it up?
Yeah, VIP really tunnel vision right there, but finding out the hard way, there's still going to be at least one opponent right above them on the grass, getting within grenade range. So they're really trying to take out Colgo, all 3 of them actually. But now Squash going to be crawling on up. No more grenades, but has the M4 lock and loaded. Level 3 gear is bruised up. Colgo Flash going to be tossed to that one, allowing him to push up just a little further. But VIP, they have some nice cover to work with and really flex their muscles, essentially. Will Freddy spot out Squash, though? That's the question.
Oh my goodness, what an insane end to that one. Oh my gosh, Alpha 7 had them dead to rights, but none of the S12K shots land. But we got a little salsa action going on. VIP Esports.
There it is.
With the win.
A good mindset to kind of provide some insights like Wancho, Baton, Doran, and try to elevate the Wolves roster as a whole. So hopefully Wolves can get some decent points here moving on into the second half of day number 3 here, fellas.
Teams being a little bit more comfortable, being a little bit more confident. And talking about NA, we have Shoot to Survive now having to fend off one of the LATAM teams, as United for Gaming is going to make it a crash, and they're going to try to find Darklight as a surprise, and they are going to be able to Shoot to Survive. A little bit too spread out there for our likings, Dave, as they're now trying to go back. Two grenades, barely missing that knock.
Yeah, Klaus only had 1 grenade too. I mean, he got some good damage, hit the flash, going to be pulling back to his squad mates, but
take it off of the southern island and secure some more elims, so props to them for doing so. Poppy Sour goes down, and now we turn our attention over to United for Gaming. They're getting into it with Loops, and Netabenta goes down, and this is going to be a key engagement here for Loops as they try to move into the top 3. They're currently just outside of the top 4. Vitin clutch once again. They lose 2 players, though. It's now Rafinha and Vitin, and that's it. 4 players in 4 different buildings in 4 different locations with 3 squads right on top of them. So it is entirely possible that they get picked off, 3v1, 4v1. We'll see how that works out for them, but go ahead.
No, yeah, great call out, because right here we do have teams on that west side. We got the Zarky Bros, VIP, you got Influence, you got Rose of War. And I'm making it a thing, but you got them on the west side.
It's a thing.
Who, they might look into X-Force and have the third party, the fourth party potential to try to take some shots in the back line. So they will have to be really on their P's and Q's and just looking 360 around the farm location.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed in regards to that. Team Liquid is one of the best teams in this lobby. That's why we were so surprised after what happened in day 1. They've been able to bounce back from it. And if this team is able to position, I always say, if that team is able to position themselves anywhere near the center of the circle, especially towards the later stages of the circle, after like 4, 5, 6, all of that, that is one scary team. Rafinha now starting to use this smoke. They want to take the fight towards Loops, but he needs to be careful. He's going to end up overextending, and this is what I was talking about with Ro and all of the rest of the teams nearby. They're just looking for opportunities. They're just looking for a team to be able to expose themselves long enough where they
with during this PMSL Americas. So Wancho hunkered down here, and I expect some grenades to come through that window at any moment to surprise him, but keep an eye on this as it develops. Wancho takes REVO takes down Doran, and he is quickly exited from the lobby, and now Mafioso coming to support. The Wolves have some blood in the water, and Alpha 7 smells it, Dave.
Yeah, not only that, you can see the confidence from A7 with that 2-2 split. So REVO was pushing in the front lines. Meanwhile, his squad mates were still in the south on the edge, when he was looking to get the initial knock and engagement. But X-Force 24K Looking for the Molotov follow-up here. So this is going to be X-Force down to just a duo up against Royals of War, who they were looking good just moments ago. But now with their rotation, they're getting just pieced up and creased up from multiple angles. We'll be losing a squad mate in the process over there to VG.
They're so close they can hear each other and give a little
right
shot
there,
at the wall.
There goes 24K getting pushed by 2 members of Royals of War and immediately thirsted. So just getting sandwiched essentially from multiple angles and really not able to, provide the initial support for each other in that final engagement. So X-Force eliminated with 3 elimination points right there.
X-Force deciding to split there at the last second. Influence Rage. This is what I was saying. That team, I mean, they were just waiting for the right opening. Now they're looking to take care of Ro. And if they're going to be able to, I mean, they're just going to have a lot of room to work with. On top of that, they still have the vehicles that they were able to use for this rotation up on Ro. This team could end up setting themselves up great. 9Z Globen gets eliminated with just 1 elim. Influence Rage looking to show why they are currently one of the top teams. But Lorison being able to cut off guard there by the last player of Ro 19. Let's see if they're going to be able to pick him up. Aslaw is going to be looking to jump down the window. Luckily for Influence Rage, he hasn't been fully flushed out yet. Not being able to fully spot him. They might be able to reset here with Lorison as they just keep switching. They're playing a cat and mouse game here.
Spider-Man action
What
right there.
an effort. Holy goodness, man. Victex has been the last man alive all day long for Royals of War, and he is really trying hard here, not able to get it done, but impressively played by him. He has got to be kicking himself that he couldn't pick up that extra point on Loras, and he got the knock jumping out the window, but not enough there for Royals of War as they exit the lobby. Now we're down to our top 5, and once again, Alpha 7 makes an appearance. They're trying to get back into this fight as REVO gets blown up with a vehicle. Mafioso
19 was Alpha 7 was able to take care of Wolves, and Alpha 7 was able to stop a third party from Inco Gaming as well. They did end up losing Mafioso, but now how are they going to be able to react to this push that Savage is going to be making towards them? REVO wanting to move around, wanting to get some off angles. Carrillo is going to end up getting knocked by a wonderful grenade there, and there goes Squash as well. We see you down. Can they recover from this as REVO's going to jump up by Arcti? Jumps out faster and he's able to spot him. There goes Alpha 7 Savage, now controlling the eastern side of the map.
That's kind of money right there, but not really doing no damage. Little boy, though, going to continue to crawl up. And look at those smokes here, fellas. Blocking the sight lines of Savage.
Ooh, clutch shots, though, in from Octi once again. This man has been absolutely insane. It comes down to a 1v1. It's Nax versus Lil Boy. Lil Boy on the push right now, gets the first shots off, but the hard cover belongs to Nax. And just like that, nades are out now. Both players with the hard cover. Nades are in. Will they connect? A little bit short there from Snacks. Now Lil Boy. They're going to take a quick pause here. And 7, what do you make of this? We got a 1v1. Who's taking it?
Oh, I'm looking at what just happened there with Little Boy. He ended up getting 4 grenades out of that box that was on the ground. Can he actually end up connecting with one? Oh, barely missing out on Snacks. And Snacks, I mean, he's been using a lot of utility early on. Oh, there you go. Little Boy with the play. The magical box that was on the ground, giving him 4 grenades, ends up being the winning play for him as he uses it to his advantage. Ultimately, Influence Rage. Wow.
Cool 3,500 point lead on damage going in. A one-man wrecking crew for Alpha 7. So that is going to do it. Give me your predictions, 7 and Dave, rapid fire for who's taking this map. Go with you, 7.
I'm going to be looking at Alpha 7, especially because of what you just mentioned.
I just struggling to find a foothold here and have a safe rotation. A limb from X-Force popping out their vehicles from uptown with the red dot M4. Take some shots onto Alpha 7, who are trying to center up right now. And oh no, a run over as well in the elimination feed. Ayala going to be getting a bug splat. 1 point on the board.
I want to see a nice little bolty from range. I've never seen my favorite weapon used. Makes me want to cry, but that's okay. Ooh. Adrian there landing shots, and Loops now on the defensive. Intense game is going to push the action, and they are able to pick up Vitin, and it's going to be a bit nice for Loops to get out of there, but it looks like they may just escape.
You're gonna get caught, and you're gonna have to hope that none of the other teams that are close by you are gonna make a push. And talking about making a push, something that was bound to happen, something that needed to happen, is gonna end up happening here, as Intense Game is gonna be taking the action towards Esports. Esports having the high ground advantage. Can they actually convert on that? Can they actually use it to their advantage and win this fight, as Fate is gonna get caught first?
Pedrino able to get a connection there for Intense Game, and he is the 3rd overall in elims in the entire lobby, and he's continuing to show why. Aleem caught out from silence there, so they pinpointed the location of yet another X-Force player. So hard with all of these ridges and pockets to really figure out, where are we attacking? Where do we point our weapons? I mean, just all kinds of stuff going on. Pedrino goes down, silence goes down, and all of a sudden, X-Force able to defend. Adrian goes down. It's all up to just a final member of Intense Game. It's Grafa with low HP, not able to get it done. And the interesting thing with this is, as X-Force shoots some boxes,
trying to test it, trying to see if there's another squad mate behind that boulder, on that ridge, before committing to the push here. And honestly, the split from Team Liquid probably gonna do them in here, honestly, because we got 2 different squads looking to sandwich them here.
This is chaos right now, boys. We've got 54 players a moment ago, down to 44 right now, and S2S goes out. We're down to 42. Ayala gets taken down, and Team Liquid in trouble with just a couple of members remaining. Things are getting a bit tense on the outskirts right now, as these teams on the outer edge of the zone have to take care of each other before heading in to try to take on the inner circle teams inside of these compounds. But X-Force, they're hanging in there. All 4 still alive. Remember, we said they had to build on this momentum. They're starting to put out some pressure onto these other teams. They pick up a couple of knocks here, taking out Nunez, finishing Chief, and now Team Liquid on the verge of being eliminated here, 7.
X-Force making the life a little bit easier there out of Inco Gaming. Team Liquid is going to get eliminated. Remember, they had that 2-2 split. It didn't end up working out, especially when you have to fight 2 different teams. Inco Gaming, 2 alive, going up against Bios Gaming, currently up to 4 eliminations. Get to get more. There goes one knock. Can he connect with the other one? He's not going to be able to, and Inco Gaming gets eliminated. 9C, a team that you've been picking, PB, they're just chilling. They're not having to worry about anything. And Bios Gaming now having to work with 2 Exports, depending on how much utility you have to work with. That is going to be hard. And as I say that, guess what? A team that ended up doing exactly what I was just saying was Loops Esports Wolves. Now making the push here towards Alpha 7. Carrillo is going to end up getting knocked by 1 grenade. Wolves now having all 4 players arrive. This is a bit of a rematch of what we've seen in the past between Coops, between Carrillo, between Wolves, between Alpha 7. Who's going to end up taking it? Now Alpha 7 being forced to just push back, as Wolves is just overwhelming them. Alpha 7 pain for just playing way too confident in that area, way too split, especially with so many teams still alive.
I was wondering the exact same thing with that split in 3 different buildings. I was like, REVO is completely on his own. Mafioso on his own on the other side. It does not pan out for them, but they're still in this fight. All 4 members up. They have not been wiped just yet. So Alpha 7 may be given a second wind here. You know who's big chilling though? 9Z. They don't have any damage at all done to their squad. They're still in that building, just waiting to see what happens. They picked up 1 elim, but look who's getting busy. It's X-Force. 8 elims on the board right now. We said that they needed to ride that momentum, and they are doing just that. Loops eliminated from the city. And just like that, we've got some more points on the board for 9Z as they move out, start to head to circle. This is an interesting one because the center of this zone, there is nothing. There's no cover, absolutely nowhere to hide, and everything on the edge is occupied. So this is going to be a really interesting strategy to see who...
They're going to be pushing up this hill just a little bit, but meanwhile, the Wolves changing gears. They were looking at Rose of War. Now they're turning their eyes and their attention to Alpha 7. That was the team behind them. So let's see. Wancho, 1 grenade. That might be all it takes here. But Alpha 7, they all got their grenades out right now.
Mafioso being able to connect there with 1 grenade. Another grenade from Alpha 7 continuing to connect. And Wolves Esports did want to push there towards Row. But as soon as Coops ended up getting eliminated, they thought about it twice just because they didn't have the utility for it. And these 2 teams are just going to be in a world of hurt. Wolves Esports, they might be able to recover 1 player here, but that someone's going to be pushing in. Just switch out all this stuff that you currently have. Wancho there being able to get 1 knock, but it's not going to be able to confirm as the Blues are now pushing in even more. X-Force, this deciding to take control of this center circle as much as they can with the vehicles that they have to their advantage. Are they going to be able to capitalize on this as 9C is just throwing grenades? 9C taking the high ground advantage, and it's only 24K left here in the center, and none other than, I believe it might be Valak, just still getting that off angle, which he has been throughout the whole match. PB 9C is looking great right now.
I think they're going to do it. They've got the position, and I think they realize because they had to finish that player down by the monster truck, I think they know that Valak is behind them. You saw them start to run out and immediately snap back to cover, and now they've seen him go out, and they'll feel like, okay, we can take a fight. They're going to go grab position now, and Aragod is going to be trying to do it once again for Royals of War, but A7 is still in this, and you can never, ever, ever count them out, Dave.
Take them out, man. Somebody take them out. Alpha 7 is just a duo. They can still win this game, but look at this. Kogo mowing them down with the 4x M4. There goes Royals of War, and there goes Alpha 7. 9Z. Winner, Miramar chicken dinner with 10 elimination points. There it is.
Of this tournament, because during Erangel, it was a hit and miss, and then they ended up using Miramar to their advantage. That last circle didn't end up going their way, but I mean, for a team that has been able to showcase and prove that they can win as well in Miramar with the most eliminations that we have seen so far in this tournament, which was 18.
One player that's this far of an outlier, it's statistically not possible. The man is absolutely crushing it.
Uh-oh.
He has more elims than, I believe, 6 teams in the lobby. That's
combined.
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. One player can have such an impact on the lobby. Baton, little wraparound right there, confirming the point onto. They're going to be close to each other, but does look like Milo's going to be pulling back here just a little bit. Might have spotted out Frady, might be opting to get the elimination point over there. But both of the teams in second and in third are right next to each other on the map. I mean,
passing influence rate as well, and this is not what you want to do here on the final game. You don't want to have a mulligan.
No mulligans allowed on this one. Got REVO taking a peek down. They've got that hard cover, and you know Alpha 7 and hard cover in the final circles always advantageous, but Wolves dead center, and this one, Dave, is this the game Wolves finally get it going?
This is a good opportunity. The Wolves, they got
up to 55. I mean, the numbers coming from this guy are absolutely disgusting, and he's got position right now and hard cover, so don't look for it to stop now, Dave.
Look at this. Cardozo mini 4x. Top 5 Bush. You don't even see him coming right there. And then a Bete catching a couple bullets to the dome right here. But yeah,
they want to make sure they take the action over to you. It might not work sometimes for them, but they make life definitely more difficult for everybody else. Royals of War, I wonder if he noticed that there was an active player there so close. He's going to end up missing the grenade. Circle is going to be closing in. Wolves is going to be towards the middle. Alpha 7 as well. And another team that needs to make a move there, Dave. And PB is going to be 9C as Team Liquid is just getting peppered here. And they're trying to fight back against Bios Gaming.
On fire. Ayala's on fire. Chief, though, with the high ground, with the M4 swapping to the pump. Can we get it done? There it goes. Bios Gaming doing a great job here tonight. 3 eliminations going their way. Team Liquid, though, not out of the thick of it yet. There's still a bunch of squads jam-packed on top of this current position. I mean, this is just a clown fiesta out here, PB.
Clown fiesta, indeed. Team Liquid, just when you think they're kind of out of it, they continue to hang around, continue to hold on, and that's got them in 6th place right now in the lobby. Inko goes out, and number 8 is out of the lobby. So interestingly enough, things are starting to get heated. Half the lobby's almost out of here at this point. And we still have zeros up for 9Z, an intense game. So quite literally, it's anyone's game as 9Z suffers a knock. We'll see if that is a problem for them. But this could be the upper hand that intense game is looking for, 7.
Keeping 9Z at bay. 9Z, they got the road, they got the cover. They're solid for the time being. I believe IG recognizing like, okay, we need to get some elimination points, and that's why they got that split. But 9Z now looking for the rotation. I'm looking for the pullback from IG. They need all their members here for the defend. Milos downrange. Looks like the Molotov might be money right there. There goes Milo. So now here comes IG with the defense. IG down to just 2 members here. Silence.
We're getting blessed with a head-to-head. This is great.
Yep. This is it. This is what we wanted. Remix back up. Oh, there we go. Money all day. We got the mini swapping on over to the shotgun with the fadeaway. Padrino, last one alive, 4 intense game. There goes another knock, but Padrino just not able to handle the pressure from behind. That was Remix, and now here comes Coops. Here comes the Wolves. Clean up on aisle 5 is what they said, and well, there they go, fellas. But look at the total points.
Enough.
4 eliminations for 9Z and 2 for IG.
I love it.
They
It was
did
earned.
enough.
Head-to-head. 7,
Yep.
they went head-to-head. Ultimately, 9Z winning the battle, and they do go out. Wolves able to finish the job there and send them both back into the lobby packing. But, hey, they did enough. Second place should be well in hand now. They're out of the lobby. Now it's back to Alpha 7 with all 4 members up in the center of zone controlling it.
Another win. Another win for A7. Is that what's
We'll see.
happening here? I mean, all the
REVO
chicken.
might get 60. He's got 5 already.
I thought that was a bit of a stretch, but I shouldn't have thought
Me
that.
too.
Why would I think that, right? Like, he's got 5. He's closing in on 1,000 damage. He needs one more bullet to land to get over 1,000. Yeesh. Alpha 7 at 2,400 damage as a squad, and they've still got plenty of targets left to shoot at.
Oh,
Well, there's your
that is
1,000.
absolutely disgusting, REVO. Great grenade. On top of that, you get the player Melgar that had the smoke gun, so you're not going to be allowing them to position themselves even better.
Oh my
Gets
gosh.
another knock, too. And that is just
And
going to
the
be
nade?
waving a red
What?
flag to his team
Bro.
as well, saying we need to push this. And if they're able to get all of this, that's going to be up to 8 eliminations just for REVO by himself.
What the heck is going on? He just 1v4, like, right in the face of the other team. He's just like, I'm just going to shoot everybody. Going to throw some nades. We'll maybe throw in a 360. This is crazy.
Hey, G, don't put them against the wall here. They're on the defense here. And,
REVO's-
well, they're going to be
REVO's
getting
like, I'm
2 of
coming
them.
back.
Here comes Revo swapping to the DBS, trying to get some shots out there. The Molotov anticipates the revive behind the vehicle, going for the rotate around here. Mafioso now grouping up here, so it looks like they are going to be getting the pickup. Mafioso cooking the grenade, looking to toss it right over that hillside, looking to take out AGG, but Revo lock and loaded with the DBS here, fellas.
I can't even believe
REVO.
this. REVO ran off for a moment. Like, you guys got this push. You can finish it up. And then Carrillo goes down. It starts getting a bit dicey. REVO's like, I'm coming back. I'm going to revive you, and I'm going to take this fight. We're going to finish it.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, I mean, you got Alpha 7 with shotguns knocking out your front door. I mean, you got to answer.
There with Alpha 7, they were far enough that they weren't able to actually third party that, but at least now you're within range. You're within range to start using that utility. We saw already Alpha 7 being able to use up a lot of utility earlier on whenever they were fighting AGG. Even though REVO made it look easy, Squash was like too hyped up. He was like, okay, this should be easy pickings. He ended up jumping out and got caught off guard, and that's why he's currently eliminated. Alpha 7 now up to 11 eliminations. Shoot to survive. A team that's definitely wanting to get those points. Coming into this match, they were 14th place with 54 points, tied with United 4 Gaming with 54 points as well. Fate clutching up even more placement points for his squad, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do much. It's going to come down to shoot to survive in Alpha 7.
Dude, I don't know. I think Klaus extends an invite to Fate. Like, yo, bro, there's 5 NA players left up. I think you come play for the good guys for this one. Join us, and we'll take on Alpha 7. They've got 3, and that feels pretty mighty, pretty insurmountable. But we'll see what happens. Fate's probably not going to take the invite. We'll see.
I don't think he will, but he does have a vehicle to work with, and it looked like a vehicle that has 0 damage. And with this terrain here, you can see that little cliff there towards the right side of Casper at the moment. If he's able to time it right, if he waits for the right timing here, he is currently still within the circle. Actually, he's not within the circle, but if he's able to time it right, he might be able to even secure a second place finish.
Looking at Casper, 6 grenades, had 7, tossed one out a little earlier on. I mean, one nice grenade could really do a lot of damage to A7, but A7 going to be rolling out here, a little buggy pickup service. Going to be trying to push their way into the circle just a little more here. Casper still down here, dark light, looking over there, anticipating the push from Mafioso, possibly. But shoot to survive. They have the numbers advantage. But not only that, they got Big Bob on the high ground. You cannot count out Bob. I've seen Bob clutched out many times before. Now on the main stage at LAN. Let's see what Bob can do. Fate got the blue zone. Going to be pushing him in just a little bit. I believe Fate is going to be spotted, hitting the dirt just in time before getting eliminated by the hands of Alpha 7.
This isn't scary at all for him. He's probably feeling really comfortable. Mafioso takes him down just like that. We have ourselves head-to-head between S2S and Alpha 7. It's a 4-on-3 advantage for the North American squad. They've got high ground, but will it matter? They're going up against the best team in the region. REVO taken down early. It's a 4v2, and this is what S2S needed to get this fight going. 7.
That's right, but Carrilho, the GOAT of NA, the GOAT of America, as some people like to say, being able to find some people, being able to connect with grenades. Now that is 2 grenades that he has connected with. REVO is knocked. I don't know if he's going to end up getting picked up. I think Mafioso went for the pickup. If he's able to revive him, that is going to be massive, as long as Carrillo is going to be able to hold him off right here. Casper making sure that he backs up Carrillo. Carrillo being careful here, getting on all the angles, causing some damage there to Shoot to Survive. And what looked like to possibly look like an easy win here for Shoot to Survive. There you go, getting REVO back, making it a 2v2 situation. It's still all the players are alive from Shoot to Survive. There you go, they get a full reset, and they might be able to get him. Casper's gonna have to switch here to a
Mafioso got both
and connect with Carrillo.
Mafioso picked up both on the flank with the grenade. He pushed up to close range, lobbed it just over the ridge, and got 2. That left just 1 member of S2S in the back, and the casual celebration once again. Will they smile? Will they? I don't know what's going on there.